Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashi Agarwal. I welcome you all. Today our subject is microeconomics or business economics, and we are going to do the theory of production. We will be covering the theory of production in 3 parts. Under the theory of production, today we are going to do what is the meaning of production, what is the meaning of production function, shortened production function. Under the shortened production function, we are going to do a very significant topic, that is the law of variable proportion, long run production function. It's written note there, already uploaded at my blog, you could watch. First of all, we will understand what is the meaning of production. Like we are having timber and we are converting into furniture. So timber is the input that is converted into output. Production is the process whereby inputs they are converted into output. The economic unit that performs the production activity is known as the producer or the firm. The primary objective of each rational means wise, who's using less resources and producing more. The aim of the rational producer is to maximize the profits. Production theory is concerned with the problem of combining various factor inputs, like we are having raw material, labor, land, capital, entrepreneur, organization, and the given state of technology. We are combining the various inputs to produce a definite amount at the minimum cost. The aim of every producer is to produce at a minimum cost and get the maximum profit. The definition: the theory of production consists of how the producer, how the firm, given the state of technology, this technology is fixed by which we are going to convert the input into the output. Given the state of technology, combines the various inputs to produce a definite amount of input in an economically efficient manner. Theory of production is always concerned with 2 things, that is the production function, which is the technical relation between the input and output, and the second is law of production or laws of return. Production function, that is the functional relation between the input and output, physical relation between a firm's input of resources and its output of goods and services per unit of time. With the given time, we are using so much input and how much output we are generating. That is the relation between input and output, that is called the production function. Inputs, they are the factors of production like the raw material, labor, capital, organization and fuel, etc. Quantity which is produced, that is the output, that is the finished good. The output is the result of inputs. And under the production function, we are measuring the technical relation or functional relation between the input and output. Professor Watson has defined the production function. Production means the transformation of input into the output. Inputs, they are converted into the output. Production function is the name for the relation between the physical input and the output. That is how much input we are using and how much output we are having. If a small organization produces 200 wooden chairs per 8-hour shift, then production consists of the minimum quantity of woods, varnish, labor, time, machine, electricity, etc. So we could say production function. P is the rate of output of goods and services that depends upon inputs. A, B, C, D, they are the different factors of production per unit of time. Production function indicates the technical relation between the factors of production and their inputs and the techniques and the other factors remaining the constant. It means production function indicates we are using so much input and we are producing so much output. Production function is of 2 types, short run and long run. In the short run, we are having fixed factor, we are having variable factors, because when we want to increase the production, it is not possible to increase the quantity of fixed factors. Like we are having land is fixed. If we want to increase the production on the land, we have to increase the quantity of raw material and labor. So under the short run production function, we are making a changes in the proportion. In the return which we are having, that is the return to factor, because here one factor is variable and other factors they are fixed. Production function which involve it changes in scale, that is in the long run, where the all factors they are variable. Here the changes in all factors in the same proportion. In the short run, like the land is fixed, and when we are going to increase the quantity of labor 1:1, 1:2, so there is a variable proportion. But in the long run, we have to use all the factors in the same proportion. If we are using the capital and labor in the ratio of 1:2, then 2:4. In the similar manner, that has to be used in the same proportion. Short run production function means in the short run it is possible to increase the quantity of one input while keeping the quantity of other inputs constant in order to have more units of output, because it is not possible in the short run to increase the quantity of the fixed factor. So it is known as a law of variable proportion when a producer brings changes in his production by changing only variable factor. So there is a change in the proportion of combination, like we are having land, suppose there is a land, we are having 1 hectare land. If there is a more demand, I have to use more labor. The ratio will be 1:1, 1:2, 1:3. So there will be a change in the proportion of the combination of factor land and labor. This proportional relation between the output and input is referred as to the law of return to factor, or it is also called the law of variable proportion. Long run, all factors they are variable. It is possible for a firm to change all the inputs up or down in accordance with its scale. So scale is changing. Here the portion between the like we are using the capital and labor, the proportion between the labor and capital will be same. Like we are using labor and capital into 1:2. When we are increasing, then we have to increase in the same ratio, 1:2. That is known as a return to scale. When a producer changes all the factors of production in the same proportion, the proportional relation between production and factors of production is termed as law of return to scale. In order to increase the output of a commodity, either the amount of the factors of production is to be increased or the technique of production is to be improved upon. In the long run, either we are changing the amount of factors of production or we are changing the techniques of production. If the technique are assumed to be constant, then the volume of production depends upon the changes in the factors of input. So we could say production function is of two types: short run production function, long run production function. Under the short run production function, there is one variable factor, others are fixed. If we want to increase the production, we have to increase the quantity of the variable factor, and then we have return to factor. Under the long run production function, all the factors they are variable, so there is a return to scale. Fixed and variable input or factors of production. First, we will also understand what is fixed input or factors of production. A fixed input or factors of production is defined as one, the quantity of which could not be changed. Like in the long run, if we are having industry, if there is a more demand, we could not purchase or install the machinery overnight. It will take some time. So in the short run, if we want to increase the production, we have to increase the quantity of variable factors. Variable input or factors of production are those factors which could be changed in the short run as the level of output changes, like raw material and labor services. Here, if we want to increase the output, we will be changing the quantity of the variable factor. So we have two laws of return. One is law of variable proportion, that is possible under short run, where we are changing the quantity of the variable factors, keeping other factors constant. Under the law of return to scale, which is possible in the long run, where all the factors they are variable. First of all, we will understand few concepts. Total product. It is the overall quantity of output that a firm produces. Like a firm produces 100 units of chairs, then we say it's a total product. Average product means defined as the average product which is produced by every worker. Like we are having 10 labor and they are producing total quantity 100, then the average product will be 100 divided by 10, which is equal to 10. 10 chair per person. When we talk about average product, it can be calculated by dividing the total product divided by the labor. So the formula is equal to total product divided by variable input. It is the quantity of total output produced per unit of variable input, holding all other inputs fixed. The average product is an indicator of the productivity of the variable factor. So what is the marginal product? Factors of production is the when we are changing, like we are having 10 labor, they are producing 100. If we increase one more labor, then the total production is 109. So marginal product will be calculated 109 minus 100, which is 9. Marginal product of input is equal to the change in output resulting from employing one more unit of a particular input. Total production of n unit, total production of n minus 1 unit, that is called marginal product. So what is the relation between the average product and marginal product? When the average product increases, MP is also increasing, and the MP increases more than average product. When AP is maximum, then average product and marginal product both are equal. When average product decreases, when MP is less than the average product. Marginal product could be positive, 0 and negative, but average product is always positive. So this was all the basic concepts relating to production. Now we will be focusing on a very significant question, that is the law of variable proportion. First of all, we will understand how to write the answer in the examination. The question could be: explain the law of variable proportion, discuss the law of variable proportion. So we have to write under these heads. First of all, we will be defining the meaning of production function within a paragraph. One paragraph will be devoted to production function. Then we will be explaining the short run, and then we will be explaining the law of variable proportion along with some definition. Then we will be explaining it in a tabular form. Then we will be making a graph and explaining, and then we have to tell where the producer is going to take the rational decision. And then if we have time, then we could write the just headings of the causes. Law of variable proportion or return to factor is single variable factors, other factors constant, and law of variable proportion is possible under short period. First we have to define that time period. Short run is defined as that period in which one or more factors of production and inputs are fixed, other are variable. And in the short run we have two kinds of factors, one is fixed and the other is variable. In the producer wants to increase the output, he has to increase the quantity of the variable factors because he could not increase the fixed factors. In the short run, production function, that is the technological relation between the input and output, described as the restricted choice open to form, because we cannot increase the quantity of fixed factors because we have to increase the quantity of variable factors. In the short run, it is possible to increase the quantity of one input while keeping the quantity of other input constant in order to have more units of output. It is known as a return to factor or known as a law of variable proportion. Here the producer brings the changes in the proportion by changing the variable factors. Like we have a land which is 1 hectare, we cannot increase the quantity of land. If there is a more demand, we will be increasing the quantity of labor by equal increments, like 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4. So we are changing the proportion. This proportion relation between the output and input is known as a law of return to factors. Return to factor of production with one variable input. A producer may effect changes in production by changing only the variable factors, other factors and technology keeping constant. The proportional relation between the production and variable factor is known as a law of variable proportion or return to factor, which has three phases. First phase is increasing return to factor, when initially he increases the quantity of the variable factor, then the total production increases at an increasing rate. Second phase is constant return to factor. Here the the ratio as he changes the variable factor, and the output is getting in the same ratio. Diminishing down to factor means total product increases at a diminishing rate. Now we will understand what is law of variable proportion. In short period, when one input is variable and the all other inputs they are fixed, the firm's production function shows the law of variable proportion. Here the proportion relation between the fixed variable factor is changed because we cannot change the fixed factor. Like there is a more demand, we could not buy the land overnight. It will take time. So we have to increase the quantity of the variable factors. The law states as the quantity of variable factors increased by equal doses. It means I am increasing the quantity of variable factor, like first 1:1, 1:2. So change in 1, 1:3, change in 1, equal doses. I am increasing the quantity of the labor by 1. Keeping the quantity of other factors constant. The total production at first increases more than the proportionately. In the ratio I am changing the variable factor, the change in total production is more than that. Then it becomes equal, then it becomes less than the proportionately. According to Leftovitz, the law of variable proportion states if the input of one resource is increased by equal increment per unit of time while the other input of other sources are held constant, total output will increase, but after some time the resulting output will increase. It will becoming smaller and smaller. The law of variable proportion states that if a variable quantity of one resource is applied to a fixed amount of other input, the output per unit of variable input will increase, but after some point the resulting increase will be less and less, with total output reaching at maximum before it finally begins to decline. So these are the assumption. One of the factors is variable while the other factors they are constant or fixed. All the units of the variable factors are homogeneous, like we are increasing labor, all labors they are equally competent, they are of equal quality. All units of the variable factors they are homogeneous. Level of technology, methods of production they are fixed, and it is possible in the short run. So here we see the land is fixed and this is a variable. First 1:1, 1:2, 1:3. So we are increasing the quantity of labor by equal doses. So this portion is the first stage and this portion is the second stage. Here we are increasing 1:2 by increasing by equal doses. Here the total production increases at a more than the ratio by which we are changing the variable factors. So this is the marginal product. How we are going to calculate the marginal product? Like 7 minus 3 is equal to 4, 12 minus 7 is equal to 5, 16 minus 12 is equal to 4, 19 minus 16 is equal to 3, 21 minus 19 is equal to 2, 21 minus 22 is equal to 1, 22, 0, and this is minus 1. And how we are going to calculate the average product? So here we are going to divide by the total product divided by the units of variable. So in the first stage we see total product increases at an increasing rate, marginal product is also increasing, but it becomes the maximum, then it start diminishing. Average product is increasing, but its speed is less than the marginal product. So here it becomes the maximum, and then it is becomes to, when it is maximum, then it is equal to the marginal product. Under the second stage, the TP increases at a diminishing rate. घटती हुई दर पे it increases. So here the marginal products goes on diminishing. At the end of the second stage it becomes 0, and under the second stage the average product also starts declining. In the third stage it becomes the negative, and average product is also reducing. First stage total product increases at an increasing rate. Marginal product and average product increase in the beginning stage, reach the maximum, then start declining, because the marginal product becomes the 5, then it goes to 4 in the first stage. When average product is maximum, then it is equal to the marginal product. At this stage relates to the increasing average return. Second stage Total product increases at decreasing rate. End of the stage it becomes constant, and the average product and marginal product also decrease. At the end of the second stage, marginal product becomes the zero. Under the third stage, total products starts declining and MP becomes negative and AP also falls. So this is the diagram. So this is the first stage, this is the second stage, and this is the third stage. Here we take the number of labors, here we take the products. So this is our total product. Here it becomes the maximum. So this is the second stage, and this is the first stage, and this is the third stage. Here this is the MP. So this is the AP. In the manner we are going to draw this. So here, like here the MP is maximum, it start decreasing, and the end of the first stage it becomes equal to average product. When the average product is maximum, the marginal product and average product they are equal, then marginal productivity goes on decreasing, and at the end of the second stage it becomes zero. In the beginning of the third stage it becomes negative, and the total product is here, it is maximum, and after this it start decreasing. So we could write in this manner: first stage, the total product increase at increasing rate. Marginal product initially increases, reach maximum, then it start decreasing. Average product increases, then it becomes maximum and equal to marginal product. In the second stage, total product increases but at diminishing rate, reaches the maximum, and marginal product continue to reduce and becomes zero. Average product also diminishes. In the third stage, total product start declining and marginal product becomes the negative, and the average product continue to diminish. Now we have to tell that rational producer will produce up to the second stage, because it will never produce in the third stage. Here, because here the total production is also start declining, average productivity is also declining, and the marginal productivity is negative. In order to achieve the maximum profit, the rational decision of the purely competitive firm will be to operate in the second stage. Firm will operate neither in stage 1 nor in stage 3. Actual volume of production will depend upon the prices of input and the output. So what are the causes? Why this law happens? Because we are using the fixed factor along with the variable factors. Fixed factor could not be taken in smaller doses, so the factor is indivisible. Initially, as we increase the variable factors, the fixed factors utilization is improving, due to which the total product increases. After a point, the fixed factor starts, because there is an optimum ratio, like there is a machine, it could operate well when we are using 5 labor. When we are increasing up to 5 labor, then it will be giving us good result. After then it will start declining, and labor and capital, they are imperfect substitute of each other, and there is a change in the factor ratio, because fixed factor cannot be changed. We are changing the variable factors. So variable factor could be changed up to a point. After that point, it start giving us the negative result. This law could be postponed by improving the technology, or when the factors of production, they are perfectly substitute of each other. This law has a universal application. It applies to agriculture and as well as to the industry. Though it applies agriculture in the early stages, industry on the later, but still it has universal application. And thanks for watching Shashi Agarwal channel. Please like, share and subscribe your channel, that is the